Hello and welcome to the final round of the closing chapter of F1 2019 and also the closing chapter of Season 2 of the United Drivers League. We are at the 18th round, the final round, going to Brazil at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache at Interlagos in Sao Paulo, Brazil. My name is KD1997, or as I was also known as Racer X. I actually just recently changed my PSN name as well, but still same person. Anyways, if you want a little bit of a catch-up, if you did not catch the United States Grand Prix last week, Snipper Pig claimed the title last week, thanks to Pecan not finishing in first. So he was managed to also claim the driver's title for the second time, going back-to-back, and also McLaren, after finishing 1-2 for the first time since last season in Japan when Red Bull did it, also claimed the Constructors title. So pretty much now this race is just about bragging rights, and also for draft position as well, because after this race we will have a draft going as well. The first pick has already been made, which was by Snipper Pig. He picked AlphaTauri, which for the F1 2020 season, and his teammate will be Publix, or as everyone in the UDL community knows as Hefty Bag. So he will be driving for the AlphaTauri for the F1 2020 season for season 3. But the draft is still yet to be decided in terms of the picks, and I'll run you through the order one more time as well. As in second place right now is Pecan. So Pecan right now is in second place. He holds the second draft position for now, but he's also got other competition behind him as well, like second place is actually Honos. I take that back. Honos is second place, Pecan is third, Breezy in fourth, and Dreamsy in fifth, but they're not too far from each other. Pecan is only behind Honos by 2 points. Breezy is behind Pecan by, well, he's got a little bit of a margin at least by 30 points, so he might have to lock in with a fourth spot if he can outscore Dreamsy, who is down by at least 23 points. So he has to finish, basically in order for Breezy to hold fourth position, he will have to finish. He could either finish 8th or above, and Dreamsy could still win, and he will hold the fourth draft position. As it looks like we're about to get underway. Also, there was confirmation I just got that 3 drivers actually will not be doing a qualifying lap, and that will be Snipper Pig, the champion, and Breezy and Kill the Birdman. They will not be doing a qualifying lap. They do not have qualifying bans. It's just their choice to not do a lap. And it looks like we have about 16 cars on the grid. And I think we have a new driver, if I'm correct, who is replacing Drew Yu. It is Crix209. Never seen it before, but I'm keen to see how he does. But of course, Brazil, it's probably my personal favorite track. I'm pretty sure it's the same for almost everyone else too. I mean, who could forget on the more unforgettable moments of Brazil? 1991, Ayrton Senna's first ever home Grand Prix win. 2007, Kimi Räikkönen winning his first ever title. 2008, Lewis Hamilton winning his first ever title after finishing 6th, getting past Timo Glock at June Sao corner on the final lap. And Felipe Massa, who thought he had the title for about 20 seconds, but then was dashed by Lewis Hamilton. 2012, the title fight between Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel in very torrential conditions. Of course, that was Sebastian Vettel gaining his 3rd championship in a row at the time. And then, of course, 2016, Max Verstappen's incredible drive from being in the back of the field all the way up to 2nd in what was the best drive I've ever seen from anyone in wet weather conditions. So let me go ahead and give you the map up as well. And we will give you a little tour of this 2.6 mile circuit here at Interlagos. You have 15 corners. There are 10 to the left and 5 to the right. 2 DRS zones at the front, one of the front stretch at the end of turn 15, which is actually considered the front straight, even though it's just a little bit tight bend. And of course, the back straight at the Retro Pasta. But I'm going to follow along with Schweitzer as he get started with his first lap. Down towards the center S, turns 1 and 2, and then we go into turn 3 of the Curve de Sol, which will lead into the DRS zone down the Retro Pasta into the Descida del Lago, which will be turn 4. Of course, this is the moment from last year when Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel had a little tangle in 2019. Now we go into more the technical section of the track, the uphill elevation of the track as well in the Sector 2. Now, of course, this is also turns 6 and 7. You got a little bit of uphill, a little bit of downhill slopes, followed by another uphill slope before you get into Mergulio, which will be leading you down into a left-hander sweeper corner and into the famous June Sao corner where Lewis Hamilton overtook Timo Glock in 2008 to win his first title. And now down towards the front stretch you go. This is where Pierre Gasly and Lewis Hamilton had that famous drag race on the final lap in 2019 in Interlagos. So Breezy, oh, actually, I thought he said he wouldn't do it, but okay, never mind. He actually did a lap. So he sets a 108.7. Big Rig does a 110.5. Schweitzer with a 110.7. Money, get that money and run, 109.9. And Imperial with a 111.8. So that is what the qualifying order looks like for the moment. Dreamsy is the next one to cross the line. 109.2 puts him at second fastest. Honos, his teammate, goes fastest with a 108.6. And I think that's all we got for the time being. I think we've got Speed Kane as the next one, or is it Dilsack? It's Dilsack, 109.2, puts him fourth fastest. And I think the next one to come up is Pecan. Apparently apparently that was Big Rig, I think. Oh, okay, I don't know. But anyways, I thought I saw Haas going across the line. But anyways, I think there has been... Oh, I forgot about Lucas. Lucas is the fastest, 109.3. Okay, so Pecan I think is coming up to the... Oh, no, that's Big Rig. I could have sworn. Okay. Guessing also Birdman did not make it. I did not catch that either, so he probably didn't make it in time for qualifying. I heard confirmation that he would. So apologies if I got that incorrect. Speed Kane is the next one to cross the line in the Toro Rosso. What does he do? 109.3 in the Toro Rosso. So I think now Pecan's next to cross as he goes down the main straight. And it looks like to be somewhere near the 109s, I think. Or no, it's a 108. So he had a purple third sector, so he might have messed up a little bit in the second sector somewhere. But that puts him up into third for the time being. Honos currently is your pole sitter with a 108.6. And so far, only 3 drivers have done the 108s. Alright, so pretty much what it looks like then, I could have sworn I was heard that was Birdman, Snipper, and Breezy that was going to do no qualifying, but I guess not. Oh, Breezy now goes fastest again. 108.4. Gets above Honos, and is 0.2 quicker. And also, again, Breezy is without his teammates, Shawsome again, so he will be running solo once again for Alfa Romeo. Apparently, I got another confirmation that Snipper was doing a little bit of Celebration Donuts as well. Sorry if I didn't catch that, Snipper. If I would have, I probably would have caught that. My bad, dude. Alright, so I think the next one to follow up will be Korab. I think he's the next car to do a hot lap, who has yet to do a hot lap as well, out of the 3 cars that have on the field. Also, will we see someone crack maybe even the 107? It's the question. I think Hurricane just did a lap. Yep, 109.0. That puts him up to fourth. Now here comes Korab. He's got a purple second sector, so he's looking pretty sharp. I think this will be a 108. Maybe it's close. 108.9. So that puts him fourth fastest. Good. Fortunately, his lap is invalidated, so he will not set another flying lap. Currently, your pole sitter with Honos, Pecan, Korab, and Easy Hurricane at your top 5. Dreamsy in 6th, Dilsack in 7th, Lucas in 8th, SPK in 9th. Get that money run right out the top 10, and then I got a Big Rig in 11th, Schweitzer, Crix, Imperial, Snipper, and Bossman are the remaining cars so far. Now, also, while we are a little bit of it slowing down on some things, I also want to talk about some new features to the spectator mode for F1 2020. So, if you want to know some differences to what you're going to see for when you watch these streams, is, you know, like in a normal telecast for F1, they pretty much do the graphic for the tire strategy and also alert you like when the pit window is, right? That's something you're going to see for the next game. So, without me having to guess what the tire strategy will be as Bossman goes 109.1 and puts himself into 7th, there will be a graphic there for you to actually see what the pit window will be. And I think that's a pretty cool feature too. It actually helps out a lot for the commentators. Honos that goes fastest again with a 108.4 back into pole position and bumps down Breezy to 2nd place. And Big Rig follows up with a 108.6, a good statement lap, so close times. 108 so far from 1st to 6th as Big Rig went completely off in the center S. Now let's follow along with Dreamsy doesn't look like he's going to improve because he is way too far off his pace. So I think he's going to have to do another redo on his lap. Real Space Hero just joined, so he'll have to start from the back of the grid along with Snipper, because those two are going to be the only ones not have done a qualifying time. And let's see. I think Money is on his lap right now in the Red Bull. Right now he sits at a 109.3. But will this be the lap to have him at least crack into the 10? Well, actually, I would take that back. He looks like he's gone a little bit slow. He might have messed up a little bit. Yeah, he's 2 seconds down from his pace, so no, it doesn't look like. Oh, looks like we have a yellow flag somewhere. It is Big Rig on the side of the road near the guardrail. He looks like he ran out of fuel, and yeah, he has. Next to be is Dilsack. Can he improve to a 10? Oh my! Apparently, let me see if I can follow along with one of the racing points. I didn't get a good glimpse. Looks like to me that Crix must have screwed up somewhere at the end of the seat of the logo. But anyway, I'm sorry if I was out of Dilsack's time, but apparently Dilsack has gone 2nd fastest with a 108.4. A big improvement there from the Toro Rosso. Oh yeah, and also not to mention, in case you didn't listen to me earlier, that Toro Rosso is also known as Alpha Tauri for the next game. Speaking, I think is the next. Nope, never mind. He's going back to the pits. Korab is the next one across the line. What does he do? He goes into 4th with a 108.5. This is extremely close between the top 8. Top 8 are the only cars to have at least crack into the 108s from Honos to down to his teammate Dreamsy. Oh, looks like we have someone's. Oh, it's Hono. Or Dreamsy slowing down a little bit. Right, so he's getting his lap going. I think Easy Hurricane is the next one to cross in the Ferrari. No, it doesn't look like he's actually going to go back to the pits. He might have messed up a little bit there. So I think the next one will be Pecan to cross the line. No, he's going to the pits as well. He might have messed up a bit too. Alright, so let's... So Honos apparently improved a little bit this time, I think. Said it went 2:10s, but I'm guessing he might have, like, did he improve his time? I don't know, sometimes the game is a bit weird. Because it didn't say, like, new fastest lap, so I can't give you confirmation on that. Codemaster's in your bugs. Alright, here comes Dreamsy. He's got a Red Bull ahead of him, too, so hopefully Money does not impede his lap. I don't think he will, thankfully. So, let's see what he can do at the front stretch and see if he can improve his time. He does go to fourth with a 108.5. He had a purple third sector like his teammate did, but not enough to get pole position. Almost looks like he's up on his time though, but he will go back to the pits. But he looks like he can maybe improve it a little bit more, I think. Oh, I got someone off. Oh, it's Lucas, who has gone off at turn 6. I guess he was just letting cars by. Let's see if Big Rick can improve on his time on the soft tires again. Right now he currently sits 6th with a 108.6. Does he have... Nope, he goes back into the pits again. As it looked like Imperial was about to did his lap, but I don't think he improved, so he stays 15th for now. And Bossman goes into the pits. And we have 3:15 remain with Honos, Agipulsar, but Dilsack in 2nd place, with Breezy in 3rd and Dreamsy in 4th and Korav in 5th. Okay, we got Speed King. It looks like he's improving his time by nearly half a second. I think this might be enough to at least crack a 108. Does it? Will it be a 108? And it is with a 108.9. Now let's follow on with Imperial. Alright, so it looks like he's improving his time. I guess the last lap he did was an out lap. I probably didn't catch that on my screen. But he is up on his time. Will he have enough to maybe make a slight improvement and maybe get ahead of Crix? He does improve, but he does not improve enough to gain a position. So he will have to stay 15th with a 111.5. Easy Hurricane, the next one to cross, and it looks like does not have enough to improve. Money, I think that might be his outlap because that did not say that on my screen. I know that for sure. I swear, Codemasters. So I think the next one to come is Dilsack. He's not down. He's down from his time, so he will abort his lap and go to the pits. And Imperial has spun near, like, the guard. He spun to the guardrail, and he's still still hitting the guardrail a little bit. Interesting there, but sorry about that. I don't know if you heard my phone going off, but let's see. Who do we got? Easy Hurricane, does he have enough to improve? Well, he was invalidated, so it doesn't matter. He probably will have to do another lap. Money does go into the 108s, though, with a 108.8, but remains 9th for the time being. Look at this. Apparently, Snipperpig decided that he wants to join the party. So, he's abandoning his idea as he invalidates his lap immediately in the center S. So he will have to start from the back regardless. Alright, so we got the McLarens coming towards the line. So Honos is invalidated, it looks like. But Dreamsy did make it time to start his lap. And, oh, what do we got here? Snipper in the runoff area to the City of Lago. I think he's going to try to at least do some donuts. He said he was doing it earlier. I had confirmation for that, but unfortunately I did not catch it. And it looks like Honos made it in time as well to do his lap. For some reason it didn't show that. But anyways, Lucas is the first cross. And he will do a 108.7. Bunts down Money, and he goes into 9th. Next across is Breezy, as he goes into pole position with a 108.3. And I think Pecan came across, but he does not improve his time. Speed King, I think, is the... oh, never mind. It's one of the McLarens. Actually, it's both McLarens, I should say. Dreamsy, next one to cross behind his with his teammate behind him. He does not improve. Honos does not improve. So they will have to stay 2nd and 4th for McLaren. And I think that it would be the end of your qualifying session, as everyone has done their laps. So Breezy will start on pole position for the Alfa Romeo, as Snipper will do a little bit of a drive-by lap before he crosses the line, or does he want to do a little bit of donuts? Well, it was an attempt at least. He tried to do a donut. It fortunately was a half donut when he crossed the line. But anyway, Breezy is your pole sitter with Honos in 2nd and Dilsack in 3rd. Dreamsy in 4th, Korab in 5th, Big Rig in 7th, Pecan in... Or Big Rig in 6th, excuse me. Pecan in 7th, Easy Hurricane in 8th, Lucas in 9th, Money in 10th, Speed King in 11th, Bossman in 12th, Schweitzer in 13th, Crix in 14th, Imperial in 15th, and Snipperpig did not set a qualifying time, but will start from the back regardless. But he will also have space here for company as well, since he just appeared last moment. But also, Chris is the only one that's going to be starting on the medium compound tires as well. But the rest are probably going to opt to go into the softs, unless the bottom 10, or should I say bottom 7, will probably have a different strategy. Alright, so pretty much we're just going to be waiting for the time being to wait to see, well, not to wait to see, but wait until the new lobby gets going so we can get the race started for you. But if any of you catch the, what was it called, the Styrian Grand Prix? So today it was actually Lewis Hamilton that won the race, and Mercedes pretty much dominated Austria for the last 2 weekends. Last weekend was Valtteri Bottas. This time was Lewis Hamilton. But Ferrari's weekend, as you know from last weekend, was bad. Well, even though Leclerc got podium last week, this week it was even worse. If you watched the race today, lap 1, there was an incident again between Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel when Charles Leclerc decided to go to the inside and to Sebastian Vettel, and then apparently he hits to the left rear of his car, went up and also went on top of his rear wing, which unfortunately retired Sebastian Vettel from the race. And of course, if you're going to do a rear wing job, that's a big job than changing the front wing, obviously. But Charles Leclerc also retired because he had really bad floor damage as well. But the midfield, though, the battle from the midfield was crazy because Lando Norris, who was actually the guy that finished third in last week's race for the Austrian Grand Prix, but it was because of Hamilton's 5-second penalty, had probably one of the best final laps I've ever seen because he got by both Racing Points on the final lap, and Sergio Perez had really bad wing damage, so he was losing a lot of pace. And in the final 2 corners, Lando Norris just pretty much put his foot down to the floor and just got by Sergio Perez and got him on the final lap on the last corner and just took 5th place away from Sergio Perez, which was another good drive from Lando, especially having to get McLaren's first ever podium since, 2000? Well, actually, last year was Carlos Sainz that got the first ever podium for McLaren, which before then was 2014 when Kevin Magnussen got it in Australia. But last week was pretty much in a 2-race span was when McLaren actually got the last podium position. But from what I've seen so far in this season, it looks like Mercedes is once again the team to definitely be like the more dominant team, obviously, as I think we have a lobby all set up. Also, just FYI, I don't have notifications on, so I'm also relying on Pecan to tell me through my phone. As I have now joined, and I will go ahead and put myself into spectate mode. Unless you want me to do trackside commentary. But I'm not going to do that. I think it would be hard if I actually did trackside commentary. But anyway, that was my little take on the Styrian Grand Prix, or Austria 2.0. But pretty much next weekend will be Hungary at the Hungaroring, so we'll see how that Grand Prix goes out. But the thing is that Ferrari's going to probably have another miserable weekend because they did not manage to test any more of the new upgrades for downforce, especially if you're going to do it in Hungary. So, especially with the cars damaged and retired from the race, it's going to be very tough for Ferrari. And I think this could be a very long year for them too. Actually, they're supposed to be like one of the top 3 teams in Formula 1, and I'm thinking they're going to I have a feeling that McLaren's going to outperform them. Or if they get really bad, they might be outperformed by Racing Point, because they actually look pretty good too, for at least a midfield team. So, I guess you could say this was like my little podcast of some sorts. But I think we should be ready to go, I think. I guess while we're still waiting, I could probably still talk more about the F1 2020, about maybe some things I like and some things I don't like so far. So, probably the things I have liked so far is, one of them is definitely the My Team, because I like the fact that you can actually now have an 11 team on the grid, and also it's a way to manage like the budget for your team. Like, you're a race driver, but you're also a team manager or a team owner, and you have to like work mainly like not just worry about budgets, but also worry about like the contracts for certain drivers. Obviously, in season 1, you're gonna start off with an F2 driver, so like you'll have drivers like Nick DeFries, Mick Schumacher, Guan Zhao, or just as an example. But I'm just going to tell you, though, if you're going to be doing whatever engine you're going to pick, the best engine to start off with is probably Honda. It's the cheapest engine, but it's actually a really good engine for, at least in the game, I think. Renault's okay, but like, I'm not a big fan of it. But just FYI, if you ever do it, don't go for Ferrari. It's the most expensive engine. It's like $4.1 million that's going to burn out of your budget. That's like almost your entire budget gone from the start. So just fair warning, do not go for the Ferrari engine unless you have enough money for at least the next season or the season after. Looks like we have oh, there we go. We got Birdman in the grid too. So alright, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. I guess he just had to appear late. So that wasn't by choice. But yeah, like you could also improve like a lot of things, like your aerodynamics, your downforce, the RPD upgrades. It's obviously like there's a lot of things that you have to deal with in my team, but I've actually enjoyed it so far, and it's definitely a good mode to look at as well. I'm not sure what's going on. Apparently we're still waiting, I think. I hope we're gonna get going soon. I saw everyone was running up, but I guess we're not quite ready yet. We have almost a full grid. Interesting. But also, now let me tell you the things I don't like. So far from what I have seen in online, it's literally unplayable for the moment, because and this is something I have been dealing with quite a bit, and I'm not sure if it's the same with everyone else, but I know what I've been dealing with is the connecting with online services. It's super annoying. You're doing in the middle of the race, and then all of a sudden you have that popping right in front of you, and you cannot see where you're going. So it makes it like 10 times difficult. And I think I can add one more thing too, is the glitches. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you what the glitches are that are so ridiculous. Like, I've seen a podium celebration where the driver's head is just gone. Like, literally just gone. It's something I've never seen before. And also in Australia, like, you know, like, the one bit of the introduction where you see, like, the lake side of the lake part of the track? So, like, there's, like, someone standing on top of the water that makes himself look like Jesus, which is, like, come on, Codemasters. Like, how can you not notice that? There's so many bugs in that game that it gets really annoying. And also the thing I hated, too, was one of the first things I hated, too, was that when you did time trial, like, right off the bat, you couldn't see anybody's times. They didn't do that until, well, I mean, to be fair, I got the deluxe Schumacher edition, which came like a few days before the original edition came out. So, yeah. But overall, I like the car performance as well. Like, the car feels more grippier, and strangely enough, it actually feels a lot faster too than this game as well. It feels grippier, faster, and definitely smoother. And the handling is so good too. And the new tracks, I gotta say, it's definitely good too. I love Hanoi. It's a great track. It's very interesting. It's very fast, but you got lots of technical sections, especially the third sector, where it kind of reminds me of the center S, or not the center S, but the S section of the Suzuka circuit, but it's just flat. Yeah, there's pretty much just no elevation to it. Obviously, there's no elevation that much in street circuits anyway. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so and Zandvoort, it's a good track as well. I say it's a good qualifying track. It's great to good lap times, but then come to the race, it's nearly impossible to overtake someone. But it's still a good track. It's interesting, and I like the bank corners as well. It kind of reminds me of NASCAR corners as well, with those 90-degree banks. But that's pretty much now my take, and that would be my end of what pretty much was a little bit of a podcast for myself for KD 1997, or formerly known as Racer X. Alright, so it looks like we're about ready to get going for the final round of the United Drivers League of Season 2 on F1 here on F1 2019 before we transition into 2020. And also F1 2020, as far as I know, I think we're going to be doing it at the beginning of August for the third season. So keep your eyes peeled for at least that time period. And we will also have the rest of the teams all done once we get everything else sorted out. Okay, looks like we're kind of waiting a little bit. I hope we're not having internet issues. We're waiting on at least 3 drivers. Still sack Dreamsy and get that money and run. And of course, I will be doing the commentary for that as well for the following season. And also to give you a little reminder as well that the United Drivers League will also be doing an IndyCar series as well starting next... Oh, okay, yep, we're having internet issues. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation about that now. Yeah, okay, so we're going to have to start a new lobby because Codemasters cannot get their stuff together. So we'll have to start again. Great. So maybe I'll just continue on my little podcast then. Maybe, if we can get everything going. Just hold on. Yeah. So, pretty much, once again, if you just tuned in, pretty much, the lobby broke because Codemasters can't do anything right in terms of online services, as you can see as of lately. And we'll have to start another lobby. Anyways, what I was going to say before I got interrupted was that the United Drivers League will actually be doing an IndyCar series for the first time as well. If you also remember, we did a preseason race, I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago, at the Bugatti circuit at Le Mans. And of course, we also did the Indianapolis 500 about a couple months ago, oh, at least a couple months ago. But no, we're going to actually do a full season. And the very first race will be at Daytona International Speedway. So that will be really interesting because obviously we've never seen IndyCars drive around Daytona before. And it's going to be interesting because it's a tight super speedway track. And I can't imagine how much dirty air the drivers are going to deal with, especially excelling at speeds on average of 225 miles an hour. But it should be a fun race. It'll be 100 laps around that oval. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I think Kodo will be after that as well, and then Long Beach. I'm going to check the schedule just real quick just to give you confirmation. Yeah, so Daytona, Coda, Long Beach, and then afterwards we'll go back to Indy for the GP circuit, and then the Indy 250. So that'll be the first 5 races around there. So, yeah. Around for the calendar. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to look like for at least time being. Alright, so hopefully we can get everything going again. Apologies for the technical difficulties as well. It's not really everyone's fault here. It's just Codemasters just doing their thing, obviously. I think I got confirmation now that we got a new lobby set up. Alright, so I'm coming now. Yeah, once again, apologies for the technical difficulties, as I will try my best to keep you guys all company as well. Leo Mazzari says, and I know who this is. This is a hefty bag. He says, talk about how Drew U is a scam. A scam? I'm not sure what you mean by a scam, but maybe you could give me clarification on that in the comments section there. Maybe I might go into some kind of a detail, but I'm not sure if I can. But I don't think I want to talk too much bad stuff on anyone. Alright, so hopefully we can get everything going again. As we got all the 18 drivers that will be attending today's race on the grid, and hopefully we will not have any issues in the process. Also, let me know in the comment section as well your predictions for today's race. I'll go ahead and give mine. So, I'll say first place will be, and I know this guy definitely does very well in Brazil, and of course he was also the pole sitter, and this is also his favorite track. I'm going with X Breezy to win the race. Second, I will say we'll go to, I'm going to say Korab will get second, and then third's a toss-up though, but I have a feeling Dilsack might actually get third place. I like to see him at least get a podium, and I don't think he's gotten one yet this season, so it would be really cool to see him get his first podium this season. And the same goes with Korab as well, as he hasn't got a podium as well, but he is fairly new as well, as he came in I think he came in midpoint in the season, somewhere around there. But also, I'm interested to see what Snipperpick can do, as he will start from the back of the grid and see how many positions he can at least climb up. Alright, hopefully we are good. We are waiting for Get That Money and Run's internet, hopefully, to get going. Fingers crossed, at least. Still waiting. Still waiting. Oh no. Is it? Oh, okay, there we go. Yay! Thank you, Codemasters. You're at least confident now, at least for the time being. Hey, at least I can talk bad about Codemasters, because they are incompetent. Alright, hopefully we will get everything going again. and hopefully we will not deal with any sort of issues. Okay, looks like everyone's getting their setups all ready to go, so that tells me at least everything's working. At least I hope everything is working. Alright, 10 seconds, and then the session will begin for the final race of the United Drivers League here in Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Alright, hopefully we're good. And we are good! Yes! Yes, yes, it's go! As Murray Walker would say. Good old Murray. So, let's run you through the grid order one more time. So, X Breezy is your pole sitter in the Alfa Romeo, along with Honos, who was last week's winner in the United States Grand Prix, with Dilsack. Probably his best start so far is in third. Dreamsy falls behind him in fourth, with Korab round off the top 5, and the Haas drivers have got a big rig and Pecan round off 6th and 7th, with Easy Hurricane in 8th. Lucas will start in 9th, along with Get That Money and round off the top 10. Speed King and Bossman round off 11th and 12th. Schweitzer and Chris, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is in 13th and 14th. Imperial in 15th, along with Space Hero, who just came in late, along with Kill the Birdman, will start 16th and 17th, but Snipper Pig will start from the back of the grid in dead last in 18th place. And also the back-to-back United Drivers League F1 champion. And also, to give you a heads up again, Snipper Pig also made his first selection, getting Publix as his teammate for next season in the Alpha Tauri, or as he also known as Hefty Bag, for the next season on F1 2020. So that's all we have in terms of the draft so far, but we will have more going once this race is over. As it looks like someone got disqualified from the formation lap. It was 2, actually. Bossman and I think that was Speed King. Yeah. Apparently they might have got disqualified from the formation lap. Alright, here we go. Final chapter. All for bragging rights. All for the marbles. For what draft position we will have for the drivers. This is the final chapter, the final time here at Interlagos. 2.6 miles around this circuit with 15 corners. Here we go. It's the final chapter of the United Drivers League, and it's lights out and away we go for the final time. X Breezy gets a brilliant start off the line, but here comes Dreamsy coming into the inside. Along with him squeezing his teammate, but he drops back into third place. Honos goes up into second, at least for the time being. Korab up into fourth already, alongside with Pecan up into 2 positions. Pecan on the outside. Breezy leads away, along with Honos. Dreamsy right behind him, and it's a little bit of a skirmish there. But Pecan, oh well, we got someone gone off. We got someone that has gone off. I think it was one of the Ferraris. I think that was Hurricane that might have gone off, and I think Imperial. But it is X Breezy from Honos, Dreamsy, Pecan in 4th and 5th, and that's pretty much the top 5 so far. And it looks like there's someone that's gone off a little bit as well. I think it's Chris, might have lost a little bit of position, but Snipper Pig up into 13th already. This is the Bossman on the inside of Got Big Ray, trying to squeeze past the Haas, but the Haas has got a far better advantage. Now he's got the Toro Rosso of Speed King next to him as well into June South corner. Now on the inside is Speed King, and he looks like he's got a little bit of advantage, but I think Bossman had a better traction off the line there, as that's pretty much it so far. X Breezy has the gap of 0.3 of a second from the McLaren of Honos. Dreamsy is in third, along with Pecan and Korab in the top 5. A little bit of a chaos there. Someone's gone wide there too, and it's a pass of Got a Big Ray. He's lost the position to Bossman. I think someone else has gone wide as well. I think that was Mercedes or Schweitzer that might have gone a little bit wide. And Imperial on the outside. He's trying to get by him as well. Oh, here comes Snipper Pig though on the inside of Space Hero, up into 12th place already. moves up 6 positions after the first lap. Good, great driving so far from the Ferrari. But so far, Breezy having a comfortable margin. No DRS, of course, until the next lap. Whew. Wow, that was some interesting battles going on already. Some drivers that might have gone on a little bit wide there too. But so far, it looks like the skirmish has gone a little bit silent for the time being, as Schweitzer on the inside of Imperial. Into Maguglia we go. Inside is the Mercedes, and I think he's got the better advantage, and he's gone as well. And Breezy with the fastest lap. Only 4 drivers on the medium compounds. It's Money, Bossman, Chris, and Schweitzer, for at least for now. DRS is also enabled as well, but Breezy has a gap of 1.4 seconds, and it looks like we got some kind of an incident that's going on. I think we got, it's a Red Bull. I think that might have been Money. Yeah, it's Money. He had an incident. I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened, but he had an incident at the second turn of the center S. Now here comes, looks like Kill the Birdman on the inside of Space Hero. He's going to stay back. Space Hero defends his line brilliantly there into the Cia Delago, but he managed to get by. Now here comes, looks like Easy Hurricane right next to him as well, going up into turn 6, into turn 7. He's going to have to hold back, at least for the time being. So far, Breezy with a comfortable margin, 1.3 seconds separates between Honos, him and Honos for the time being. Pretty much the same gap that what was the first couple laps for the time being from between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton in last year's race. Breezy had the fastest lap there for a moment, but Honos took it away from him as well. So they're both running almost nearly the same amount of pace. As Speed King on the outside, he has the perfect line to turn 2. He's got him. Got Bossman at the end of the center S, but Bossman is going to come back at him. Down the retro pasta towards the Cia Delago with DRS assistance as well. Is the Racing Point got enough at least to get him? No, he looks like he won't. Speed King holds off the inside line into the Cia Delago. Holds off 7th position for now. But here comes Bossman. Now he's going to go in the uphill section into the inside. No, he cuts a bit of the grass. But no, he will not get him, at least for the time being. But Snipper Pig, look at this, up into 10th already. So far, a brilliant drive from the Ferrari driver. Up into 10th place after 3 laps, of course. Honos has closed that gap a little bit, though, too. Well, at least, well, he did for the time being. He was down by 1.1 seconds. Now it's 1.0 seconds. But DRS assistance will not be enabled to him as he's trying to get to that Alfa Romeo. And oh my goodness me, I think we have a, looks like it's the Racing Point of Bossman. And Big Ring must have gone into an incident at the June Sale corner, and now he's going to lose a position, I think, to Chris, and he does lose a position to Chris. Oh dear. And also Ferrari's in the pit. A Snipper Pig goes into the pits already. And he had a missing end plate. So he has to go into, whoa, he's going on the hard tires. That's interesting. The thing is, though, about this track, it's not a track that wears your tires. I've done some tests, actually. You could practically go to the end on medium tires on a 50% race. It's, like, seriously, you can't go 50%. So I'm surprised he's actually going to the hard tires. Those hard tires are going to feel awful on Snipper Pig. But Honos has closed that gap, and he is pushing with all his might. Pecan right behind him as well, but Dreamsy gained not too far behind as well. The 3 cars behind Breezy have DRS assistance. On board with Honos, does he have enough to get him? No, I don't think he will for the time being, but Pecan closing in. He also has the fastest lap of the race as well by at least a 10th. He also cuts the center S corner of the turn 2 down the curve, so he will have a better run down the Retro Pasta towards the Cia Delago. Does he have enough to get by the McLaren? On the inside goes the Haas of Pecan, and he does have enough to get by the McLaren. So Pecan up into 2nd place after making a good move there from against the McLaren of Honos into the Cia Delago. Now he's got to try to hunt down the Alfa Romeo of Breezy as well. 4/10, well, nearly half a second actually separate between the Alpha and the Haas. Meanwhile, Bossman and Get That Money and Run, they're a little bit close to each other as well. That looks like they're a little bit of a skirmish, but we'll check on them maybe for the time and a little bit of later on. But Pecan now has to hunt down the Alfa Romeo. He has DRS assistance, and he's trying to push as much as he can towards the Alfa Romeo, and he is literally pushing. Down the inside goes Pecan, over the hill, comes into turn one. Does he have the inside line? He has the outside line. Breezy holds him off at least for the time being. Now he's going to go the outside into the curve to Sol. DRS assistance to Pecan, and Pecan has enough to get by him, and he does move up into first place. Pecan, who won last year in Brazil, is now back into first place where he was last year and gets ahead of X Breezy in the Retro Pasta. Great job by the Haas. And of course, these guys definitely want to end this, well, not just this season, but also the end of this game on a high note. And so far, they have been putting up a really good show so far. But X Breezy, who goes a little wide there before going into Magulio, will have DRS assistance as well to get by, if he can get by, the Haas of Pecan down the front stretch, and he's got plenty of DRS assistance to help him out as well. Down the front stretch, does he have enough? He's going to try to get the slipstream with DRS assistance as well. And does he go for the move? He doesn't. He actually just holds off for the time being. He's probably going to have to wait until he goes into the second DRS zone down the Retro Pasta. Now we go into the second DRS zone. Does he have enough to get it? He looks like he's gone off a little bit there. I think Pecan had a little bit better exits for the time being, so he will have to hold the position for the time being. But he also got Honos hunting him down as he goes wide too at the end of the turn as well. Meanwhile, Bossman and Money, looks like they're another battle too that's closest, but so far, Bossman's holding him up for the time being. I think he might have got by him, actually he did get by him as well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, he will have to. So right now, Bossman up into 12th place. Pecan trying to hold off that Alfa Romeo as much as he can though. Out of June South, does X Breezy have enough to get by him? Once again, he's got full ERS assistance to help him out as well, but he had bad exit there out of June South, but he's also got the McLaren of Honos as well to hunt him down. Dreamsy has fallen off the pace, but here comes Korab right behind the McLaren as well, and I think Dreamsy is out of DRS range as well, even though he is saving as much as he can, but he will have that racing point right behind him. Does Korab go for the move though? No, he does not. He just stays behind for the time being. What an interesting, crazy 9 laps out of 36 so far here in Interlagos. Like I say, this track always has some kind of juicy drama. So far, we've had quite a bit of drama in the early parts of the race. Now, speaking of pit strategies, so since this track is not really well known for not killing tires, you can go quite a bit of distance with the softs. I expect maybe these drivers to pit maybe around lap, at least either lap 14 or 15 is what I'm thinking. Breezy though has lost a lot of ground to Pecan, but now here comes Honos right behind that Alfa Romeo. He's hunting him down. He's got plenty of slipstream to get him as well. Over the hill towards turn 1. Does he have to hold him off? Yes, he does. Oh, slight contact there between Breezy and Honos. He holds him off for the time being, but Breezy's now out of DRS range, and now this puts him to the advantage of Honos on the inside towards turn 4, and he's got him there. It looked like it was contact as well. Honos, oh my goodness me. He a little bit of skirmish, but Breezy gets back the position. Breezy back into second place as Get That Money and Run gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Wow, he thought he had it there for a moment though. Honos had a good run and everything, just could not execute it. And so far we pretty much see only 2 drivers on the hards as well, Big Ring and Snipper. As they also, I'm guessing Bigry must have had some damage as well when he got into an incident with Bossman a while back, and I think someone's gone slowly. It was Bigry that got a little bit slow, and here comes Honos on the inside once again. Over the hill into turn one, he's got him. Honos has got him this time, at least for the time being, but Breezy, I think, will try to fight back. He's got DRS assistance down the retro pasta towards the Decido Lago. Does he want to get the move done? He just stays behind him, at least for the time being. So he will have to stay behind the McLaren, but Honos up into second place. But this is helping Pecan quite a bit as well with this little skirmish behind him, as he's built that gap to 1.2 seconds separate between him and second place. Meanwhile, Chris looks like he's gone by Imperial and moves up into 14th place. We will see also, can Breezy get back at Honos at the front stretch? He does not seem like he's got better exit speed though out of June South. Honos seems like he had much favored towards that corner there. Korab, does he have enough to get by the other McLaren? And it looks like that answer will be no, at least for now. Wow, Breezy cut that second corner massively there. Almost similar to what Pecan did earlier. Here comes Korab though, right behind that McLaren. He's always thinking about it. Does he go for the inside move? No. Dreamsy cuts him off. So he has to hold the position, but Dreamsy's still under pressure from that Racing Point, who has not been given an inch. He also rubs a little bit of grass there before going into turn 6. Now, the thing is though from last week, if you also remember, Breezy, even though he led last week for a bit in the US Grand Prix with the undercut, but oh my, he had a bad exit in that corner. He went completely wide and into the grass slightly. But does he opt to pit early? Because, oh, whoa, that is extremely close. Oh my, what is going on? Yeah, he was very near the pit wall, at least on my part of the screen. But we'll talk about the Breezy later. Korab right behind Dreamsy. I think he's got a better run this time. Oh, towards the Cedar Lago. Oh, he cuts him off a little bit there. Into turn 4. Dreamsy, how does he hold them off? He'd hold them off again. How did he not make contact with the Racing Point? Wow, this is some great scraps between this Racing Point and the McLaren. But anyway, like I was saying about Breezy, does he offer another early undercut? But the thing is, if he does that, I mean, that could be a little bit of a risk factor. I mean, kind of proved in the USA Grand Prix, as he did lead for a bit, but he lost a lot of pace because he was on older tires compared to Honos from last week. Korab, I think he's lost a little bit of time as well to Dreamsy, but he still has DRS assistance on his disposal. But Honos has also gained on Pecan as well, DRS assistance as well. He's not close enough just quite yet. So we have to stay behind, at least for the time being. So the McLaren's gained a little bit of skirmish. Wow, another big time corner cut there at the second turn, this time by Korab. But that's allowed at least a little bit of DRS help. Does it allow? Now he's going to try off for the outside move this time. How on earth did they still? Oh my goodness me! They made contact. Does it now up the hill? Does Korab have enough? He does get ahead this time. So this time Korab actually gets ahead of the McLaren and now goes up into 4th place. I don't think, though, Dreamsy's quite done with him quite yet. I mean, that was a massive corner cut there from Korab. That definitely helped him quite a bit, I'd say. So Honos now half a second from Pecan. He closed that gap quite a bit with that DRS help. Now he will get DRS help again. does he try to get for the move done? Oh, Breezy's going to the pit, so he's going in a little bit early before everyone else. Honos tries to get the move done. No, but now here comes Dreamsy. Try to go the inside, but he cannot get ahead of the racing point. Stays behind him at least for the time being. So Breezy, Hurricane also off to go to the pits. And on go the medium compound tires as well. As Space Hero gets a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. Dreamsy gets ahead of Korab. And he goes extremely wide there at the end of the Cedar del Lago. But Korab's coming back at him as well. Oh my goodness me. These two have been going at it for at least 5 laps. It's incredible racing between these two. A lot of bump and runs and contacts. My goodness. A little bit wide there for Pecan there at the end of Magulio. But does Honos have enough to get by the Haas? I think he's just trying to bide his time in the way it looks. Maybe hope for the undercut to work. Pecan's got quite a bit of VRS on his disposal as well. Down the main straights. Oh, no, so you're thinking about it? No, he does not. He stays behind, at least for now. Now also, will this undercut work though for Breezy, because he's got a lot of clean air to deal with. And onto the pits goes Lucas, but following that, Lucas gets a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. As one of Pecan's friends says, go Pecan. Glad to see some support for any drivers in the comments section. Oh, Korab is so close to Dreamsy, my goodness. These two have been going at it for quite a while in this race. Both McLarens into a lot of activity with a Haas and a racing point. Oh, Dreamsy's got a little bit more better exit speed though than that racing point. Here he comes. Korab right behind him though at the end of June. I think he got a little bit of a better exit though this time. Still has DRS assistance to help him out. As Dreamsy goes for the dummy. He goes into the pits. So that puts Korab at the third. But and Dreamsy, a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I think that's the third driver that we have seen that has now a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The speed limit in this track is about 50 miles an hour, or I think that's in terms of kilometers. I think that's over 87 kilometers an hour. So, what has happened to Honos, though? Apparently I didn't catch something, but he lost a lot of time to Pecan. That's interesting. Oh, we got someone off. Or we got someone slow. It was Chris. Oh, I wonder what happened to Honos. I didn't catch what happened to him. He was a half second before behind Pecan. But Pecan's now got a 5.7 gap between him and Korab. So when will Pecan pit? And he goes in now. So now, question is, where will Dreamsy come out? And will he get this undercut to work against Pecan? Korab falls along with him as well. Honos goes into the pits. Dilsack does stay out, and he will lead the Grand Prix for the time being. So Breezy coming down the front straight. Pecan is about to come out. Oh, this is going to be very, very close. Very, very close. Pecan's just about to leave the pits. Breezy, lie alongside, I think. I think the undercut worked, and it did work this time. So like last week, the undercut has worked for the Alfa Romeo, and he is ahead of the Haas. And also, it's right now at the moment a Toro Rosso 1-2, but those two have yet to pit as well. So pretty much now, Breezy is your penultimate leader for the time being. Dreamsy gets behind Pecan from the pits, and Korab still behind the McLaren. But Honos has lost a lot of time, though. I wonder what happened to him. Maybe if he put some footage into the stewards, we might look. We have a Williams slowing down. It's Birdman, who might have had a little bit of an accident himself at the Sea de Lago. Dilsack finally goes into the pits. Speed King does stay out, however, to avoid the double stack. Breezy will move up into second. Pecan moves up into third. And Dreamsy and Korav should get ahead of him as well. So that'll put them in fourth and fifth. But where will Honos come out? Oh, this might be close as well. Does he have enough to get ahead of Dilsack? Down the center S, and I think he does, yep. So the undercut, well, or overcut, I should say, did work for him, at least get ahead of Dilsack for the time being. So Speed King is yet to pit. There are now 4 cars on the hards. Space Hero and Lucas on the hard tires, which is very interesting. So here comes Lucas, though. Does he want to go for the outside move? But Space Hero, he locks up a little bit, too. But he holds off the position for now. Breezy's gaining a lot of time on Speed King as well. Speed King is yet to pit. I think he's going to opt to pit in this lap, I would assume. He goes down the main straight. And yep, there you go. He goes into the pits. So Breezy will retake the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix with Pecan hunting him down, but not far behind. Only by nearly 6/10. Now a half second after that. Honos did set the fastest lap of the race again with a 1:10.6. Down the Retro Pasta. Nothing quite yet for Pecan, at least. He's just trying to be patient, but here comes Korab again! On the inside towards the Sea de Lago. This time he makes that move easy. This time it's much easier than the times that they've had some contact with each other, but this time Korab finally gets a Dreamsy and moves himself up into third place, which means he could also be in running for his third podium, his first podium if he stays in third place. Wow, great. These two have been doing some great battles. Almost reminds me of what Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc did in last year's British Grand Prix in Silverstone, when they were battling out for long periods of time. Oh, Pecan, he is much closer, but still not quite there just yet. It looks like Breezy might have cut a little bit of the center S again. We go down the back straight. Does Pecan have enough, at least to get by him? Nope, he holds the position at least for the time being. So pretty much what it would look like is this. Either one of these drivers in the top 2 could end up winning their third race win. Breezy has won Canada and Italy. Pecan has won Bahrain Day and Mexico so far. Which means that those two could either one of those two could actually tie with Snipper for the second most wins. Snipper currently right now has 3 wins in this season as well. But speaking of Snipper, he is currently in 12th place as he is battling out with Bossman. Bossman's still, he's on the soft tires again, so he's opting for a 2-stop, which is I think that might have killed them there, because it's not really a 2-stop strategy for a 50% race here in Brazil. Oh, down the backstretch, here comes Pecan. Does he have enough? Nope, he's still close, but he's saving a lot of energy. Dylan asks, will Pecan and Breezy both have to pit? No. It is a one-stop strategy. Oh, wait, what's going on with Money? Oh, he stopped in the middle of the road. What the? How on earth did he end up there? He was stopped in the middle of the road on the front stretch. How in the world? Did he suffer any damage? I think he did. I don't see any end plates. And he's on the racing line. This is not very good drive from Money. I don't know exactly what happened to him. But yeah, that clearly shows me that he has wing damage. But yeah, again, to answer your question, no, it is, they do not have to pit again. It is, wow, these two are cutting the living daylights out of the second corner. Both Breezy and Pecan do. But now Pecan's got a far better advantage. He's got a better run, but holds this position for the time being. Wow, and Breezy goes extremely wide at the end of the Cia del Lago. It's very common to do that. It is a pretty, I probably would say it's the trickiest corner in this circuit as well. Wow, Pecan is all over him so far. As Imperial has gone off to the grass on the infield, just to let by the fast cars as he is a lap down. Money is gone. He's retired into the pits. And Lucas is gone as well. Now, will this bring out a safety car? It's a virtual safety car. Oh, my. He crashed at the end of turn 5. I'm surprised that's not a safety car. That should have been not a safety car. I'm surprised that's a VSC. That car is clearly in the middle of the road. But anyway, virtual safety car is out with 13 laps to go into this race. From Breezy to Pecan, Breezy up into third actually, getting a Corab, but oh my, what's Hono's doing? You can't overtake someone under virtual safety car conditions. You have to wait until the green flag is waved. Alright, so Corab holds his position, but apparently Dreamsy got back at Corab. Apparently I didn't catch that, but he is up into third. But Breezy's oh, Schweitzer's gone. Oh, he's in the pits. Wait, did he retire? Did he miss the pit entry? Will this bring out a safety car? Let me see if I can see what happened with, if I can. Oh, he crashed in the middle of the pit entry. Wow. I'm surprised they didn't bring out a safety car. So no, there is no safety car, but there is yellow flags at the third sector. Of course, you cannot overtake under yellow flag conditions. Wow, that is really interesting. A safety car would make things very, very interesting indeed. We saw 2 of them last year in real life. Oh my, and Imperial goes extremely wide. Weird way to let by somebody, but he does let by 3 cars of Dreamsy, Corab, and Honos. Honos has gained a lot though on Corab, so Racing Point's got another McLaren to deal with, at least for now. As we got another lap car approaching as well. I think that's Chris as well. Down the main straight. And Pecan does have DRS advantage, but does not have enough to get to, at least to the Alfa Romeo for the time being. But they are saving a lot of their energy as much as possible. These two have been cutting the second corner, I think, almost the entire race. Oh, that's so close. Pecan also got a purple first sector with that, but Breezy goes wide. As Chris does let by Breezy and Pecan. Someone named I'm sorry if I don't say your name correctly. Discernmento Espiritual says, "Let's go Corab 04." So I'm guessing he's one of Corab's friends. And also welcome along to the stream. As we have 11 laps to go, and Breezy right now is your race leader. Snipper Pig gets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:09.7. Right now he's in 13th for now. Of course, he doesn't have to really do much of anything since he does have the title to himself. As Pecan over the hill towards turn 1. Oh, he holds off at least for the time being. Breezy again, caught in the same corner of turn 2 of the Santa S. Down the back straight. Does he have enough to get him? No, not quite. Not quite, at least towards the lake side of the track. And Honos also got ahead of Korab, and Honos up into 4th place, but right now it is a McLaren. Instead of a 1-2 from last week, right now it is a McLaren 3-4. Oh, we might see a battle with the 2 Toro Rossos, maybe skirmishing a little bit sooner too. Speedking has gone closer to Dilsack as well. Oh, Breezy had a little bit of a bad exit. I think he went a little bit wide. He rubbed a little bit of grass. Here we go, down the main straight. What is Pecan going to do? Is he going to go for it? Oh, he's close. He's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. On the outside goes Pecan. And no. Holds off. Breezy holds him off for the time being. Great. Oh, no. And Breezy makes a mistake, and that's going to allow Pecan to get ahead of him. He makes a mistake at the Curve de Sol, and Pecan retakes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. He might have gone a little bit too deep into the Curve de Sol. And that has cost him not only 2nd place, but a little significant amount of time as well. Great patience from Pecan. Meanwhile, the 2 Toro Rossos are now battling out as well. Speed King and Dilsack. This could be like Alex Albon and Daniel Kvyat from Hungary of last year as well, where the 2 Toro Rossos battling out as well. On the outside is Speed King. On the inside is Dilsack. Oh, Dilsack holds him off for the time being. Oh, but here comes Speed King on the inside towards the Magulio corner as well. Oh, he's still behind, but Dilsack goes a little bit wide. He's trying to get back on the track. Speed King gets up into 6th place. And down the main backstretch comes Breezy with DRS assistance, but he will have to at least be patient and wait to pounce if he can on Pecan. He's got 8 more laps to go to at least make a move, and this may actually come down to the final lap. Meanwhile, the Honos has gained a lot on his teammate as well, showing tremendous pace. So far I've seen that he seems like the car that has the better pace as well, but I'm just not sure exactly how he lost that much time in the early part of the race. Meanwhile, Snipper Pig gets a Big Rig as Big Rig goes into the pits. Snipper Pig up into 12th. Oh, but Breezy wants to get that move done already, but I don't think he's close enough. Not quite just yet. 7 laps to go into the Brazilian Grand Prix. The gap is closed now to 0.2 of a second. Here comes Breezy. Here comes Breezy. Does not have enough to get him just quite yet. As Dilsack gets by his teammate Speed King back into 6th place as well. Honos was also close to his teammate, but he lost a lot of time, so I'm guessing he might have made a slight error. Oh, Breezy almost losing the back end there. Oh, that was super close. Well, that cost him quite a bit of time, but he's still within DRS range. Just needs to get a good exit at Jun Sao. I think he got a pretty good exit at Jun Sao corner. Oh, this is close. This might come down to the wire. He's still close, but he's only half a second down. Doesn't cut the core as much as he was doing a little bit earlier. But he's not far from Pecan, only half a second. Oh, this is going to be some kind of finish. Honos has gone a little bit closer, but he is only a second back. But Speed King gets by Dilsack up into 6th place, ahead of his teammate. Meanwhile, though, Bossman's also got Space Hero to deal with too. He's got the fresher soft compound tires to help him out as well, as Space Hero holds him off for the time being. And here comes Bossman, though, with DRS assistance. Down the Retro Riposta. Oh, does he got him? He does have enough. Got better grip as well. Moves up into 9th place. Breezy's gone a little bit closer, though, but he just needs to not make so much errors if he wants to get by the Haas. 5 laps remain in this Brazilian Grand Prix. 5 laps remain to the final race of the United Drivers League for Season 2, of course. And Breezy's gotten a little slightly closer. He's got a little bit of better exit speeds as well. He just needs to keep... He's trying to keep Pecan honest as much as he possibly can. Turn 11 we go. We just need to get a little bit better exit speed in the 2nd sector. Oh, that might have cost him a bit there before going into Bagulio. Peacon's still holding him off as much as he can. I think Breezy's just trying to save enough, at least until the final lap. Pecan is trying to push as much as he can to, like, at least separate between himself and Breezy. Oh, and Breezy, a costly error now, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And I assume it was at the 2nd corner. So Pecan could run away with this unless Breezy can get by him and build a 3-second gap. Or if Pecan himself gets a 3-second time penalty, then we're back to an even game. But for now, the advantage goes to Pecan for the time being. So the McLarens might go on a little bit of a skirmish here as well. Honos digs on the inside. His teammate as Dreamsy goes very wide, and Honos up into 3rd place. Oh, we've got someone off, I think. Oh, it's Space Hero. He's gone slowly. He might have gone off at the end of turn 2 or turn 3. Oh, and Breezy, I didn't catch it, but apparently Breezy might have made a slight error too, because he's dropped down to 3.9 seconds. Oh, dearie me. So Pecan pretty much at this rate will be the 2nd pick. We'll have the 2nd pick as long as he can hold this position. And I think Honos will move down to 3rd. And then Breezy will retain 4th, at least for the time being, for the 4th spot for the draft. So pretty much right now, it looks like the top 5 is looking to be secured at this point. But with Pecan moving up a position and Honos moving down. Now we have almost 2 laps to go here in Interlagos. This race has had quite a bit of drama, at least from the beginning of the race. Probably the best key moment I've seen so far in this race was the battle between Dreamsy and Korab. That was some battle they've had, at least in the top 5. More laps to go until we can close out the final chapter of this season, and also for F1 2019, as we will move to F1 2020 later in this year in the beginning of August. As I said before, Snipper Pig, who claimed the title, had the first pick, and he picked Publix to be his teammate in the AlphaTauri for next season. So we will have to wait to see what the remaining draft picks will be, what the draft will be, and where everyone will go. Pecan with a very comfortable lead, 4.1 seconds, and plus added to his bonus with Breezy 3-second time penalty. If Honos can get closer to Breezy and get less than 3 seconds, then he's got the second place in the bag for him too. But we'll see, it depends on the penalties. Final lap around Interlagos, the final lap of the United Drivers League Season 2 here at Interlagos. Pecan right now has 10 more corners to go until he can win this race for the third time this season, and also to end the season on a high note for himself, as his teammate does let him go. Right now the gap is 4 seconds between Honos and Breezy. So it looks like for the time being, I think, if Breezy does not make any mistakes, this will be the result. Snipper up into 10th place. He could be I think he could be my driver of the day, at least. From 18th to 10th is a pretty good drive. But Pecan, for the final time in the final season of the United Drivers League, takes the win here in Brazil and wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Breezy crushes and goes into second place. Honos will stay in third, and Dreamsy, added with a 5-second penalty from speed in the pit lane, goes down into fifth, with Korab up into fourth. Speed King and Dilsat, the two Toro Rossos, will be next across the line to finish 6th and 7th, with Hurricane in 8th place. Bossman will finish it off in 9th, and Snipper Pig, I think, will be my driver of the day, at least to salvage a point and get a good recovery drive to finish in 10th place and finish his final time in the Ferrari seat before he goes into the AlphaTauri. Space Hero finished in 11th. Birdman will be the next to cross the line to round it off, but Big Rig, Imperial, and I think Lucas round off the rest of the remaining runners. But the victory belongs to Pecan 36 for the final race here at Interlagos. Third race win of the season for him, and also a good result to finish on a high note, especially also to the other two of Breezy and Honos to round it off on the podium positions. And that also concludes F1 2019. This was some good moments. This was some low moments. But in the end, it's been a wonderful season of the United Drivers League. It's been a great run. And also be sure to tune in for next Saturday when we do, or the following Saturday, for the IndyCar Series at Daytona, for the start of the inaugural IndyCar Series for the United Drivers League, and also 2 months away for F1 2020 for the Season 3 of the United Drivers League for F1 Series, for F1. Oh, it's been a great season, but for the final time here in Interlagos in Sao Paulo, Brazil, my name is KD 1987, or as also I was called before, Racer X. We'll sign off for the final time here in the commentary box, and we will see you in F1. In terms of F1, we will see you in August in Australia. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your weekend.